Hey there, let's talk. Now, we've been getting to know each other for some time now, sort of. Um, so, for today's show, I want to get you thinking a bit. I want to ask you some questions. And the first one is this: what have you been doing to better yourself during this pandemic? I'm guessing you've probably heard of Mark Cuban. He's a business guy, he knows things, he's pretty savvy. He's on Shark Tank. He owns the Dallas Mavericks. I think he's worth $4.1 billion. I wonder what I'm worth. Anyway, Mark Cuban has made a living by making smart investments in business deals. And recently he gave an interview where he was offering some job advice. And when someone of Mark Cuban's caliber offers job advice, it might be wise to perk up our ears and listen.
The first question every interviewer is going to ask you is, what did you learn during the pandemic of 2020? What skills did you add during the pandemic of 2020? And so unless you're trying to be a career gamer or esport athlete, you got to get off the games and really focus on taking classes or doing something to increase your skill set.
So does that stir any thoughts in you? How have you spent your time during this pandemic? What can you say to your current employer? Or what would you say to a potential new employer? If they asked you what skills, what did you learn during the 2020 pandemic? I don't normally do this on this show, but I want to offer you a solution that we have. At the packaging school, we have something called the Certificate of Mastery in Packaging Management. It's offered by the world-renowned Clemson University Center for Corporate Learning, and it's facilitated by PhDs from the packaging school. This certificate provides proactive learning in the areas of packaging development, material procurement, and organizational management. It's certainly a way to better yourself or add to your resume or to boost the packaging knowledge that you already have. In this video, in the description below, I've put a link to the certificate on the packaging school site. I think you should check it out. For you, maybe even for one of your kids who's recently graduated, maybe for a coworker. But I'm sure that there's someone you know that would appreciate you sending this along to them. But you need to act fast because the admission is by application only, and the deadline it's coming up. It's coming up fast. So check out the link. I'm going to give you some time. In fact, while you're checking it out, I'm just going to sit here and read a little bit to you from one of my favorite books. It's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. If you've ever struggled to push through some of your battles to get things done, especially if you're a professional creative, you should definitely have this book on your shelf. It talks about something called the resistance, and you know what it is if you've experienced it. It's that force that feels like pushes against you. It's that little whisper in your ear that's telling you to do it tomorrow or it can wait. So I'm just going to read to you while I wait for you to go check it out. Links in the description. The following is a list in no particular order of those activities that most commonly elicit resistance. The pursuit of any calling in writing, painting, music, film, dance, or any creative art, however marginal or unconventional. Number 2, the launching of any entrepreneurial venture or enterprise for profit or otherwise. Number 3, any diet or health regimen. Number 4, any program of spiritual advancement. 5, any activity whose aim is tighter abdominals. Number 6, any course or program designed to overcome an unwholesome habit or addiction. Number 7, education of every kind. Number 8, any act of political, moral, or ethical courage, including the decision to change for the better some unworthy pattern of thought or conduct in ourselves. Number 9, there's 11 of these. I don't know why he chose 11. I know, it's like turning it up to 11, I guess. Number 9, the undertaking of any enterprise or endeavor whose aim is to help others. Number 10, any act that entails commitment of the heart, the decision to get married, to have a child, to weather a rocky patch in a relationship. And the last one, the taking of any principled stand in the face of adversity. You still there? If you are, you need to just leave this and go check out the link that's in the description. but I'm just going to keep reading in case you're being inspired. Resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. It will perjure, fabricate, falsify, seduce, bully, cajole. Resistance is protean. It will assume any form if that's what it takes to deceive you. It will reason with you like a lawyer or jam a 9mm in your face like a stick-up man. Resistance has no conscience. It will pledge anything to get a deal, then double-cross you as soon as your back is turned. If you take resistance at its word, you deserve everything you get. Resistance is always lying and always full of S. It's not a word I say. Make fun of me in the comments if you want. Resistance is infallible. Like a magnetized needle floating on a surface of oil, resistance will unfailingly point to true north, meaning that calling or action it most wants to stop us from doing. We can use this. We can use it as a compass. We can navigate by resistance, letting it guide us to that calling or action that we must follow before all others. Rule of thumb: the more important a call or action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel toward pursuing it. In other words, if you're facing an important decision and you're really dreading something, it's probably the right choice. Probably. You should investigate. You still there? Links in the description. Just a couple more. Running out of time. It's getting toasty out here, and my beautiful wife is being very patient with me. Resistance has no strength of its own. Every ounce of juice it possesses comes from us. We feed it with power by our fear of it. Master that fear, and we conquer resistance. And last one. I think this is a very relatable one. Procrastination is the most common manifestation of resistance because it's the easiest to rationalize. We don't tell ourselves, I'm never going to write my symphony. Instead, we say, I am going to write my symphony. I'm just going to start tomorrow. Now, you've procrastinated. If you're still sitting there watching my face read words out of this really good book, you've procrastinated long enough. Click on the link, go check it out, because my wife and I have other things to do. Are you ready? She said yeah, so check it out. See you soon.